All right, lock in because today I'm going to be rating every new era Survivor contestant outside of Survivor 47 because I've been open that I quit watching US Survivor after Survivor 46. I have a whole video just roasting Survivor 46 and like saying my reasons. So I'm not going to bog this video down trying to explain why. It just like is what it is. But yeah, this is going to be an unscripted video, so I don't know if I'm gonna like put this in an editor and like put like music in it or like edit out like pauses and stuff like that. But yeah, this is unscripted and I'm just like I'm gonna rate them as I go basically. Like I know for sure I've decided um on some just because like they were just that impactful of a character, but like yeah, I'm just um it's just rating as I go. And I guess I should explain the tiers. Now, um how this list is going to work is it isn't really going to be about like this isn't a gameplay ranking, I would say. This isn't about the gameplay. It's more about stuff like I would say I mean, well, no, not stuff. This list isn't about gameplay. Like maybe I'll use gameplay to justify why I have someone um that high or that low on the list, but this is really about how much I like them. I would say, um, like maybe one day I could make a gameplay ranking, but nah, this isn't what this list is going to be. I don't know what the title of this video is going to be, but it's going to be like ranking everyone based on favor or something like that. This is just about like if I like them, if I don't like them, and sometimes I will use post game stuff or out of the show stuff to say if I like them or not. And I wouldn't say this could completely double as like a returnee or like the players that I want to see return list because some players were like boring or they got like robbed, and I want to see them return. So they might not rank high, but I might want to see them return. But like for the most part, it could be, I would say, because if I like them, then I'm gonna want them to return. So yeah, it's just time to get. Oh, and another thing is a lot of these players are going to be in the whatever tier because like just because of how the edit works, like they can only give out so much screen time, I would say, and like develop so many characters. So like it is what it is. Like everyone isn't meant to be a star. Like the players that get ranked in anything outside of whatever, I wouldn't say all of them were stars, but like they were notable at least, which is like yeah. But yeah, it's time to get in here. So whatever, Abram, whatever. I didn't really care about him. Same with Brad. Danny, I liked him. I liked him, I would say. Um, he was a fun presence. Now one thing I didn't like about that season was the all black alliance. I don't uh like when the games play like that. I don't like when the games play down like gendered or racial lines. Just like play regular, and that's like something that I have to say. Anyone on this list that tried to form like an all male or an all woman, all race type of thing, they're probably going to be rated low just because of like me personally as a guy that's like always dealt with like uh for my story, like race and gender has always been a big part of it. Always being like sort of eh, I wouldn't say like discriminated against, but like folks like they hated me based on that type of stuff. And so yeah, like anyone that kind of enforces that in the game, I'm just automatically probably not gonna like them that much. Like please leave that stuff out of the game. I'm just trying to watch a game. So yeah. Um that is what it is. But like outside of that Black Alliance, I like Danny. He was a fun guy, nice player. And yeah, go Cowboys. um Deshaun. Now the thing is, I wanted him to win in that final tribal council, but um, it's like now like but I know that he had like no shot. Like now looking at everything, looking at like the exit interviews and stuff like that, like yeah, he had no shot to win. Um, but yeah, I would say that he was like a little. I would say like, oh, this is gonna like reveal where I put the women of the Black Alliance, but I would say the men were more tolerable than the women of the Black Alliance. Because like, well, I'll get to that. I'll get to them when I get there. But um, I would say that Deshaun was all right. It was fine. Like I didn't hate him, didn't love him either. So yeah, Erica. I hated her win, but like there's nothing really wrong with her as a person. Let's say. And like she deserved her win, but at the time I hated it. So I would say like all right. She's not my favorite. I don't want to see her back. Maybe I would want to see her back if she got like a real edit, but like they didn't give her a real edit. So but yeah, she was like really inoffensive, like nothing to hate about her. And even if there was something to hate about her, like the hourglass, like that wasn't even her. So that was like on production. So heavy, whatever, whatever, really whatever. JD, he's a solid guy. I'd say like I wouldn't want to see him back or anything, but like yeah, I like them. He had a good story. Liana, uh, I'll get Shan over here. So I really don't like them because they grifted off of like pro blackness. All they said like all season was like pro black this, pro black that. Then we have a chance to like give this guy the shine, life changing money, and be like pro black. You don't vote for him. Grifted off of pro blackness, used it when it was convenient for you, but then when it wasn't the most convenient, like it doesn't matter. Like and I say this like I say this like usually like race isn't like it's not a big part of my videos, but like I am a black person and um like yeah, even if I wasn't black, like that's not gonna fly with me. It's not gonna fly with me. Like you can't just like go all season. You can't just like say pro black. Then when it's time to like give this guy life changing money, you don't vote for him. Make up all these like bad reasons or whatever. Like whatever, man. That's like the main reason why. That's the main reason why I didn't like them. But outside of that, they're like whatever. But if it wasn't for that, it would be in whatever. But like that final vote, even if the shine wasn't gonna win, at least like back it up. Like you made a whole tribal council about this black stuff, and then you don't vote for him. Grifters. All right. So this year, whatever. Ricard. I didn't like how he seemed to be like to not really like players like JD and the Shine, like really not like them for some reason. But I will admit that he played a good game. Now out of his like archetype, like Omer, Jesse, he's probably like the lowest out of them. Or in terms of like ability. But like I have to give him his credit. Because like the new era has been like how can I say this, like I guess like a budget version of Survivor, like a light version of Survivor, a soft version of Survivor. This season in particular is like a wish version of Survivor. So the fact that he played like a really good game, I respect that. So yeah. Nothing, whatever. Yeah, like basically the fact that everyone's like going into whatever, like this is like a wish version of Survivor. I said that Survivor 46 was a wish version of Survivor. This is like second in line. Like that's like the main wish version, but this is like wow, how did you put this season together? Like these are like it's like you got these folks off of like whatever. But last person from 41 is Xander. What I was trying to say is like it feels like a parody of Survivor rather than like a real season of Survivor. And it's mainly because of the cast. These aren't Survivor players. But Xander. Now I didn't understand like the hype and like wanting him to win and all of that, but I'll say he was a good guy. I'll say he was all right. And that's going to wrap up the 41 cast. Now getting to 42. Chanel, whatever. Didn't really make her impact on the show. Daniel, whatever, man. I didn't really care about him. Drea, easy dislike. I noticed that like this tier is getting filled out with like yeah, I should I don't know if that's something that should be acknowledged, but like I will say it. this tier is getting filled out with black women, but like Drea, like well, I already said why I don't like Liana and Shan. It was because of one thing, but like Drea, like she definitely deserves to be here. And it's like she can't get protected. She can't get protected because like I already have like two other black women here, and like she's like gonna be like another. No, like I that's and I'm gonna say why, but like yeah, I really don't like her. She seemed to be like a wet blanket. There's times when there was a time when like someone was joking around with her. Uh I think it was Tori, like in the pre-merge when like Drea wanted to make this all girl alliance, and she's like, the women have to stick together, and like Tori's like, that's a new thought for you. And then like she was like she was just trying to like have fun, but like Drea just came off like so cold. I would say. I just didn't like her. All of her content was about advantages. Um and yeah. So like there's enough reason to like not like her on the show because it's uh like the only time when she I don't even think I saw her smile. Like she's smiling in this picture, but like the most memorable time when she smiled was like when she was like playing fake when she got voted out, when she squandered her knowledge is power advantage, and like she was like being fake and acting like all friendly and all that, but like she was barely smiling in the show, like I said, coming off cold. And then we just add that Ponderosa drama into everything. Like yeah, I don't like her. And then even before the Ponderosa drama, um that tribal council. Now I made a video, I made a Survivor 42 video about a player on Survivor 42 that attended this tribal council. And like I was trying to be like very respectful and like not say how I felt about that tribal council, and like not like really get into it because I know um it could be like a little bit insensitive. It's not going to be like a popular opinion what I had to say, so I just kept it out of that video. But I want to say it here, like I didn't like that stuff at all. I didn't like it. It felt like kind of like a little bit of a lazy excuse, I would say, when she was like uh when like she said she's gonna play her idol because like it wasn't because anyone else, it wasn't because anyone on the cast was racist, but it was because like people of the past had like subconscious biases or whatever, so she's playing her idol so the trend doesn't continue. Well, okay, you played a part in getting Chanel out of the game, so like okay, Roxway, that was unexpected, but like you got Chanel out of the game, you voted for her, I believe. So it's like you already have contributed to like these black contestants like going out of the game. um and like yeah, I didn't like that. I felt like the person that went home got screwed over because like it felt like this situation, they were kind of like going home because of the history of the game, because of like subconscious biases of other players like from the past rather than like what they actually did. And it's like it kind of felt like she can play her idol, Drea can play her idol, but like the reasoning is off because like okay, what happened in the past happened, but like these players right here, they weren't the problem. And she even said that Jonathan wasn't the problem. So like I don't know. I just never liked that tribal council. I felt like there was no reason to make it about race. It's just how the game was naturally playing out, I would say. So yeah, but like I just don't like her. And originally I thought that like they got rid of Ponderosa to protect Drea, but like hopefully they got rid of it to like just like get rid of the drama and they don't like her because I don't want to see her return. Definitely. um I gonna go in dislike. I just didn't like the way that he came at Romeo in that final tribal council. He's just acting like a little bit like holier than thou for his whole run. And I kind of wish that Mike and Chanel didn't like mess up the votes and they had their vote, because then if they vote Lydia out, then they probably vote High out next. And it's like he could have been gone in the pre-merge. And it's like that would have been so nice. I realized that he was a big character. He was causing chaos, but like it shouldn't have been him. I felt like Jenny right here, Jenny here played a good enough game. And it should have been either Lydia. It should have been Lydia leaving because she was like set to leave. But like I wish that Jenny would have survived over like High and Lydia. Jenny. Speaking of Jenny, I'm gonna get to Jackson and say, well, Jackson, he's gonna go in whatever because he just like didn't really play. But Jenny, The thing is, I would like to see her return. That's why I said this list could double as like a returnee list, but because if I put them in love, then I want to see him back. But like the thing is, I don't actually love her. I'm not gonna put her in good. I'm not gonna put her in all right. She's gonna go in whatever because like at the end of the day, like she didn't really get that much. She was like a whatever figure on Survivor 42, but I would like to see her return so she can get like an actual chance to play the game because she got really screwed over by this new era stuff that they were going for really. And it's like yeah, she should definitely play the game again because like she got herself in a position where like she had 4 votes and High and Ladia only had 2 votes. She had the majority, but like her allies, you know, they had big dreams. They were thinking big, like in itself. Yeah, like yeah. Yeah, that's all I have to say about her. Jonathan, love. I liked him. Even though like his challenge ability tailed off in the merge phase because he was getting like worn down and he wasn't really a challenge beast. I would say he was strong, but he wasn't a challenge beast because a challenge beast is like a well-rounded challenge beast that's good at every type of challenge. He's only good at strength challenges, so I wouldn't say that he was a challenge beast, but like his pre-merge challenge dominance was so fun to watch, and it's like I want to see that again. It's just like also like uh it before the rewatch, like I thought that this guy was just like he was just a strong guy, but like he actually has okay, like the Drea thing when he was trying to like vote her out, like why not tell Drea to just vote for Tori because like they've been going at it. So like he wasn't really good at strategy in that instance, but like he was like a solid player. He was in like the majority group. Like yeah, like even without winning challenges, like I feel like he was like one of the better players of the cast. And if I had to give him like a player grade, I would say probably like a B plus A minus, something like that. Like he was a good player. And it's like I just like him. Very sad that very unfortunate that everyone else didn't really have like a good experience with him because like while I was looking to make that video, Survivor 42 video, while I was looking through like exit press, it seemed to be like most of the women that interacted with Jonathan or like a decent amount, they basically called him a misogynist basically. He talks down to women, doesn't respect them, something like that. And it's like I'm not gonna like invalidate their experiences, but it's like unfortunate that everyone didn't like have like a good experience with Jonathan the way that it was shown on the TV because he looks like a solid guy. So yeah. So like got to see about that. It's this Lindsay. She was good. I liked her. I liked her rivalry with Jonathan. They were going back and forth in challenges, which is why it's really disappointing to hear that they weren't good because like they were like it was like a fun rivalry. It was like but yeah, like I liked her. She was a good player, good challenge beast. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I don't know if I need to see her back. Like maybe she was like good on her season, but I feel like there are players that I'd like to see back like more than Lindsay, but I liked her. And it's like, hey, I'm not gonna promise anything, but like maybe if I go back to Survivor 42, maybe well, I was gonna say maybe there could be a video made on Lindsay if I go back to Survivor 42, but like the thing is, she was invisible for like most of the game, so it wouldn't matter. So I'm just gonna say no. If that ever happened, I would have to like go through a lot of exit press. I would say, yeah. And it's like, am I really gonna go through like a bunch of like I think like Marianne has a deep dive on Rob as a podcast and Omer has one. But am I really gonna go through like 6 hours of I think both of them are like 3 hours. Am I really gonna go through 6 hours of deep dives and like everyone's exit interviews from like Gordon Holmes, Rob as a podcast just for like a Lindsay video? Eh, I don't know. I don't know. Probably not. I liked her, but like I should have never said that. I should have never put that out into the open. Like I liked her, probably wouldn't make a video. Lydia, now while the season was going on, I didn't like her, but it wasn't because of anything. It wasn't even her fault. I just didn't like that she made it past that tribal council, not because of her gameplay. And like I didn't like High and Lydia, that they got to like live on in the game, and it's like she got bailed out, but like she wasn't like it. I didn't like that situation, but it's not that I disliked her. So she's gonna go in like whatever. I didn't really care about her. Marianne, she was annoying. Um, is like at one point, like I know like while it was airing, I rooted for her to win, but then like a few months like after, I kind of wanted Mike to win. I don't know, like, but like I didn't like her. Like she was annoying. Like with that whole like Jonathan thing, where like yeah, she walked in his way when he was like cutting something and like got mad about it. It's like she was definitely annoying. It's like, don't even take my word for it. Like yeah, that's what folks said about her. Like I believe I could be like completely wrong. I could be completely wrong, but I believe like after Mariah, like she was probably going to be next because like she was a little bit of an outcast. And like speaking of her winning game, like she's a goat all the way up until the final six Omer move. Well, it doesn't really this isn't like a player ranking, like gameplay ranking, but like she is like a pretty like I wanted her to win, but then looking back at her game, like she's a weak winner, strong in game, but like up until that, like she's like always like on the outs, like not really like a power player like that. So, um, but yeah, I didn't like her, but I'm willing to go with whatever. Um, I really don't know where I would put her. It's like don't like or whatever, but like definitely not anything above. Um, I'll probably go with not for me. Not that I like hate her or something, but it's just that she wasn't for me. So yeah. Raya, I think that's her name. Whatever. Mike, he's a solid guy. Uh, and like I remember, like I said, like I wanted him to win like a few months after it aired, but then like looking at 42, like he didn't really play that amazing of a game, and like once Marianne revealed that idol, like he was just never gonna win. Like it makes no sense how he's regarded as this like great runner up when like I don't think it was that good. Like he got tricked at the final like five, I think it was, to play an idol on Marianne, and then like Marianne revealed her idol at tribal council, final tribal council. It's like I don't know, that just like took away like he had no awareness in the game. I wouldn't say he had no awareness in the game, but like I don't know, like he could have played better. He could have played better, and it's like he should have just owned up. He should have just owned up. In terms of likability, I would have preferred a Mike win over a Marianne win, but like gameplay wise, he didn't really deserve it. So yeah, he was like an all right guy, I would say. But yeah, Homer. Now, I'll put him in all right, but he should play again. Out of his archetype, well, I said like Homer and Ricard, then like Jesse. I probably go like for likability. I'd probably say Jesse above them. I didn't really like Ulmer that much, but I realized that it's kind of like the same reason why Ricard is on the list. Didn't It's not that I hated him, but it's like I didn't like him, but he was one of the best players of the new era, which has been like a Wish version, Walmart version of Survivor. So that has to count for something. The new era doesn't have that many like good, like all-time great players. So an all-time great player shows up, like well, I'm not gonna say they have to rank high because like potentially Shan could be one. I don't really think she was that great, but like she's gonna be at the bottom. But like I feel like I'm gonna like give Ulmer that like he was like a good player, and I'm also gonna give him like the sympathy of it all. Like with the whole Ponderosa situation. That should never happen. Like I um I don't I was gonna say I can relate to him, but like I don't know if I can relate to him. But just like talking about like me specifically, like I can like imagine like wanting to go somewhere, wanting to be somewhere for a while. Then when you get there, it's like it ends up being like a bad experience. Like I can sympathize with that for sure. So like yeah, he should definitely get another chance to play with a more positive experience, I would say. So yeah, that's why he's gonna be an all right, but like if it was like a strictly returnee list, like he would probably be at the top of the folks that like I want to see return. Roxroy, I'll say good. I liked Roxroy. The thing is, like, he wasn't good at strategy. He wasn't really good at the game, I would say, but that's what made him fun. Is like nowadays they just cast like a lot of, I would say, game bots or like folks that are like so focused on like meta strategies. But this guy is like an old school Survivor player. He was just focused on like wilderness survival, like making fires and like making shelters and all of that. And it was so funny. Like I remember when it's like the first it's like the first episode when they were trying to like vote Tori out, and like Romeo was like, "We gotta vote Tori out," and it's like Rockstar's like, "Hey, I'm not voting Tori out. I'm just gonna vote for Zach," something like that. It's like he's not even subtle. He's just playing his way, and that's like how he played his game when it was time to vote Swathi out. He's like, no, he's just gonna vote for Tori. It's like he plays the game. He's like an immovable object, I would say, and I like that. It's like he talks about how he's predictable, but like I kind of liked how like in terms of the new era, he's unpredictable because like a predictable player would probably be like a good player that's like willing to adapt. But Rocksroy, he's just gonna make up his mind and stick to it. And it's just like unlike anyone in a Survivor, I would say. It's kind of like he's kind of like, should I say it? Philip White? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like he was a fun guy. He made some good chaos, especially with the Hourglass stuff. He had a good rivalry with Tori. I liked Rocksroy. I don't know if he would come back because like it seems like he's kind of like off the grid. Like he would be fun to have back. Definitely. Romeo, whatever, man. I didn't really care. Good player on Ika. Even though he didn't really get his way at the first vote, he wanted Tori out, wanted to save Zach, but like he seemed to be in a power position, but like that all fell apart at the merge. Biggest goat ever. Yeah, it didn't bring much. But like the one thing that I am on his side for is like I didn't like how high came at him at that tribal council. Final tribal council with like the gaslighting stuff. Like yeah, like whatever. Swathi, I feel like she could have been a good player, or she could have had a better edit if she made it further. Obviously, I feel like I could have liked her if she got like a better edit, made it further, but like she was just barely part of the show, I'd say. So yeah. Tori, this is the person that I made the Survivor 42 video on. Easy loved here. I love everything that she brought to the show. I liked everything, like the eye rolling and like she had like a good rivalry with Rocksroy. That was fun. Like the whole like episode 6 was fun when she was just like badgering Rocksroy about the journey, and then like Rocksroy smashed the Hourglass. Like basically like going through exit interviews, like I know now that like it wasn't like that much of a rivalry, because here's supposedly what happened was like with the whole Hourglass thing, like the show wanted to paint it like the show tried to make Tori a meme. Basically they wanted to make it seem like she was a clown, because like she was at that merge feast talking about like how it's rare that anyone would dislike her or something like that. And then like when Rocksroy was getting sent to exile, he thought it was because of Tori, like, oh, is this part of her plan? And then like when he was thinking about smashing the Hourglass, he said like this and this. Then there's the Tori factor, and like they made it seem like he smashed the Hourglass because of Tori, when if you actually like go look at the exit interviews, like it wasn't because of Tori. It wasn't because like he didn't like her, like didn't trust her. It's because like he was thinking like, hey, like that could affect her position in the game, basically. And it's like it turned out like the rivalry, like yeah, they didn't like working with each other, but like the rivalry was overblown. But the way that they edited that stuff, like it was so funny. But yeah, like I said, like I liked her eye rolling. I like the chaos that she was bringing. Like with the arguments, I like that she was a challenge beast. I really like everything that she brought to Survivor 42, and I didn't say it in her video because I wanted to keep it as controversy free as possible, keep it positive, because like that's all she brought to Survivor 42, positivity. And I didn't want to bring it down with like the race situation, but like she got massively, I already said what I have to say about Drea. It's unfortunate that Tori got massively screwed over at that tribal council, because like it like what it felt like when Drea was explaining her reason for playing the idol, it felt like Tori had to take like had to get punished for like what happened in the past, where like black players got voted out or whatever, which I haven't even run any like statistics on or research on. But like yeah, that's kind of like what it felt like. It felt like a white person has to leave tonight. So that's kind of, although there were reasons for why like Tori should get voted out, it's because like she was sneaky. Like apparently she lied to Jonathan and like tried to blindside Drea, but like yeah, like she's only in that situation because like Drea wanted to play her idol because of like outside of the game type stuff. And it's like yeah. But like I liked her, and then even when she was on the jury, she had some nice reactions. Like I liked her. And what else? What was I gonna say? Yeah. Also something else to consider is that like she seemed to be the only person um to like really be on Ulmer's side in the Ponderosa situation. So that's something like she's so nice. I'd say like that's hard. It's hard not to like her. Like the show tried to edit her like a villain. Also, speaking of being villainous, I know while the show was going on, I didn't want to say this in the video to keep it controversy free, but like while the show was going on, like there were folks that just automatically didn't like her on day one because of like some, I would say like politics. I would say, and it's like I know for me, like I liked her, but it kind of like made it hard to like support her like openly because like everyone was gonna say you support this, you're nasty, and it's like, well, I'm not saying if I support it or not, but like you can't just like label me that way because I'm supporting someone. But like that's why I didn't really support her like publicly while the season was going on. I always played this hedge game like, oh, she's a good villain or uh, something like that. I didn't say that I liked her, but like now that like that stuff is like kind of past, and I feel like some folks like don't really care about that stuff anymore. Like, yeah, I'm gonna support her. Um, and yeah, um, I want her to come back for I think Survivor 50 is like a returnee type of season. I haven't really been keeping up with that, but like I would like for her to be back because I think that she can perform well. Like the reason why, now I will admit in the pre-merge she had a bad game. And like there are things that she can fix, like maybe not spread so much information like about Dre's extra vote. Like don't demand information like when she just kept on pestering Roxroy about that journey. Like I feel like in the pre-merge, her position and like being on the bottom was her fault, but then at the merge, like her being at the bottom, that was all Drea. Drea was so quick to throw her under the bus, and like apparently she was spreading lies about her, like outside of the game type stuff. So it's like that's why she didn't really have like the best merge, and it's like I feel like she could perform well on another season because like now, well, if everyone like educated themselves, like they would know that like that the lies that Drea was spreading, they aren't true, and it's like I kind of that's the reason why she wasn't really able to make many allies at the merge outside of Marianne. So like um, I feel like now, like everyone, like they have the ability to know Tori, for Tori rather than like Drea's lies, and like they know that she's nice, and like yeah, she can play a good game because like she's gonna have that likability. She's a challenge beast. I would definitely like to see her on 50. Like if she's on 50, it might depend on the folks that get picked, but like she would definitely be my winner pick because like I think like she can perform well on another season with like a more fair shake at things. I would say like I don't see her getting voted out in the pre-merge. Like she's like really like next to Jonathan, it wouldn't look like it, but she's athletic and like she's good at challenges, very social, likable. Like yeah, I can see that. And like even in Survivor 42, she didn't she played an all right merge game and like folks liked her. It's just like they didn't want to work with her because Drea tanked her game. So like she can perform well on another season, and I would like to see that. But if she doesn't get on another season, like I'm fine with that because spoilers here in the video that I made about her, I didn't talk about her sequester season because I wanted to like keep it unspoiled, but I'm just gonna say spoilers right here. In Sequester season 3, she actually played a competent game. So like there's like even if she doesn't make 50 or a returnee season, there's like two versions of her. There's like two versions of her game, like one in Sequester where she's like a really good player, like very well insulated, like she's competent. Then there's a version of her in Survivor 42 where she's just a chaos bringer. Like there's even if she doesn't get on, like there's enough Tori to be satisfied. So like I would like to see her on another season, but if not, then like it's whatever. But yeah, I spent like a lot of time talking about her. Now Zach, the thing is, like I was just talking about like Tori being good and liking her, but I kind of feel like Zach got a bad deal in the first episode because like it was funny when Tori said like good job on the puzzle today, but like that's not really why they lost. That's not why Eagle lost that challenge. They lost it because like it was like when they were pushing things up like before the puzzle is because like Roxroy sat down or something, and it's like they were behind. They were behind before the puzzle. So like I feel like Zach actually played. I was giving Tori player grades in that episode for every episode. I feel like um I would give Zach a higher grade than Tori in episode 1 because although he got eliminated, it's like the puzzle, like it seems like he got eliminated because of the puzzle, but it wasn't even his fault for real. Them losing that challenge wasn't really his fault, so it feels like that's all he did wrong. So um but like he didn't really get much, but like he's all right. And then like outside of Survivor, like fun guy. Yeah, I would say all right. Now getting to Survivor 43, Cassidy. Dislike. She was gonna be in whatever because like on the show, it's like she didn't really bring much. She won some challenges here and there, but like at the end of the day, like she was just following along in the votes until like the final 5 vote. I guess I could give her like some credit for flipping Owen because Owen wanted to vote for Jesse. She should have said that at the final tribal council when it said like when I think it was like Jesse asked the question like someone asked name a time when you got someone to like change their vote or like flip their vote or vote your way, use some information to get them to vote your way. She should have said that she flipped Owen rather than like the Ryan move or something. Flipped Owen to want to vote out Carla at the final 5 instead of that Ryan move. So like I would give her credit for the final 5 Carla vote. I wouldn't really give Jesse the credit, even though like he flashed his idol and made like a flashy play. Should have said that. Like she played a competent she played a competent like final few rounds, like but like at the end of the day, like no one knew that she made that move, and like it would have been like smarter to make to go to fire making. Well, this isn't about her gameplay, but like the thing is, the reason why I don't, okay, she played like a middling game, whatever. It's part of one of the worst final 3s ever, like whatever. But the thing that I don't like is that post show that completely ruined it. She was going to be whatever, like I don't really care, but post show she basically tried to imply that everyone's a sexist. I said that I am making Survivor 43 videos, so maybe this will be covered, maybe not. I'm not going to reveal anything, but like I don't have the exact interviews, but I'm probably going to get them. But like in one of her exit interviews, she said that Jesse said that he's not going to vote for her unless she takes him out in fire making. And she's like, what is it, because she's a woman? Like that's basically what she said, basically trying to like imply that Jesse's a sexist. Then in another interview, maybe even the same interview, she said that if Gabler played the game that he played but as a woman, he would be seen as a goat. And it's like that ruined it. Just being very bitter, just being like very sore loser, I would say. And then it's like apparently like I saw like this like when peak like Survivor 43 fallout was going on, I saw this Reddit post saying like Cassie said don't go after Carla, don't treat her castmates, don't go after them. But like I don't know, like I don't know, I kind of feel like she was fanning the flames. So it's like it didn't really matter that she said that because like she started it, she was fanning the flames. So like yeah, I feel like Survivor 43 was a great season, but like she is kind of like a little bit of a black mark. I wouldn't say like black mark is kind of harsh. It's not like she said I just didn't like her. Survivor 43 was a great season, had some great characters. She wasn't one of them. So Cody, love. I would definitely like to see him back. Like living, I like this way of life, played a solid game. Definitely need to be on a second chance this style season because like he was just way too trusting of Jesse. But yeah, the Jesse and Cody alliance, they ran Survivor 42. I loved everything that they brought to the show. I love Jesse's story about being like in a gang and then like changing his life. Like that's very inspirational. Played one of the best games of the new era, and I wish that he would have won because like there wouldn't be any debate about his move at the final 6 had he won. Like I think that was a good move. This isn't really about the gameplay, but I'm gonna say it here. His move at the final 6 to take out Cody was a good move because He's taking out a jury threat, making a flashy move in front of the jury, letting him know that yeah, he is the real mastermind of the game. He has an idol for Final 5, so he's gonna make it there. Then he's in the Final 4, where he only has to win one challenge to make it to the Final 3, and basically get like an 8-0 jury vote and play one of the best games of Survivor. And it's like, the thing is, like, maybe it's questionable to like make that move and not be good at challenges. Maybe like he should have like kept Cody around to like get taken to the end, but like at the end of the day, like Cody was going to beat him. So like that would require Jesse to play like a different game to where he could be taken to the end and still beat Cody. And it's like, yeah, maybe that was like a flaw in his game. Like socially, he a flaw in his game was that he had to make that big flashy move for people to see that he was playing like a good game, to get recognized. But like the thing is, the reason why I can't fault him is because like he made it to the Final 4 and he had 2 chances to punch his ticket to the Final 3. And the thing is, like, I think it's like some type of balancing type of challenge. It's like, if he got some motion, like, obviously, like, I've never seen how he got, how he could have performed in some motion, but like, I feel like he could have performed well if he got some motion, because I feel like that's like a more fair challenge. And it's like, it's kind of like challenge like at that point. So it's like, that was the best play. That was the best play. 2 chances to win $1 million and he just couldn't win. Bad challenge performer for sure, but like, that was not like a misplay, I would say. That was not. But yeah, I liked everything that Jesse and Cody brought to the show. Best game players there. Their alliance was fun. So yeah. Dwight, I would say that he was really like second in command to Noel for a lot of that run. So it's like, is he really gonna rank high? I would say that he was all right. There's not really much to say about him. It's not that I disliked him, and I don't think he was in whatever tier, but he was like an all right guy. Wouldn't mind seeing him back. Ellie, love. Love. I have Ellie here because like she brings like a similar energy as Tori. Like, she's very chaotic. I love that. Like, her rivalry with Gabler, I would say that that was funnier than like Tori versus Roxroy. And yeah, like, even though I like Gabler, and it's like unfortunate, it's, even though it's unfortunate that Ellie got taken out at Mergatory, like, I like Gabler, and that was like a that was like a good move. So but yeah, like, I wish that she would have lasted longer. I liked her. I like the chaos that she brought. Maybe like she could have potentially been a challenge piece. Like, never know, if she got to those individual challenges, like balance type challenges, she could have been well, the challenge following that wasn't like a balance challenge. It was like it was like this like obstacle course type of thing, and then at the end they had to like hold like a bucket filled with their weight. So it's like I don't know if she would have been a challenge piece, but I just like the chaos that she brought. And I would like to see her return. I would like to see Ellie and Tori on a tribe together. Like, they would bring so much chaos, which that would be a bad thing. That would be a bad thing if they brought so much chaos, because like that would mean that they didn't get better as players. But I feel like it's a win-win either way, because either they bring chaos or they're a better player, and I like both of them, and I would like for them to win. So like, I would like it. I would like for them to like be on another season and like be on the same tribe. And yeah, there was this thing for on my other channel. I made a Total Drama Island season 3 my way video where I like mapped out how every episode is going to go, and like say the challenges that's going to happen, and say like the person that's going to get voted out, say the alliances. But I haven't seen anyone make one of those types of videos for like Survivor. I've seen like Brant Steele, but I haven't seen like someone make like a borderline fanfic, I would say. And it's like, because I feel like that would be weird with like real people. But if I could make it, I don't know if I'm gonna link that video, but like basically if I could like just make an imaginary season of Survivor, I would make sure these two would be on the same tribe and they make the final 2 together. I would make it a final 2. And then like, yeah, I like them. I like everything that they brought to the show. Please bring one of them back. At least one of them. Gabler. He's a funny guy. I mainly liked him not because of him, but because he prevented the worst win ever. If Cassidy won, she would have been the worst winner ever. Now, and that was just at the time. Like ever since then, the worst winner ever has been crowned in Survivor 46. But it was mainly like anti Cassidy more than pro Gabler. But then like watching the season back, I liked him. Like he caused like a lot of chaos. Funny guy. The Alligabler stuff was funny. Yeah, it's a fun guy. I like Gabler. Geo. I would say like either whatever or all right, because in the pre-merge, he and Ryan, like they were causing some good chaos. Or not chaos, but like they were funny. Like they thought they were running the game. It's like they weren't. I guess that was funny, but like it's either like whatever or like all right. James, whatever. He was a big player, but like whatever, man. I wasn't like rooting for him or anything. Like whatever. Janine, whatever. Always second in command to Ellie, always following Ellie. Like I remember at that mergatory challenge when they got split up into teams, like she followed Ellie, and it's like they had to say like, oh, wrong team. And it's like when Ryan was voting her out, she's like, you got to be he knows that she can be more of a leader, like stop being a follower or something like that. Like that's all I saw her as, like just a follower. Like Ellie was clearly like the bigger player, and like she was just like kind of got a little bit buried, I would say. So yeah. Is this Justine? She didn't really bring much to the show. Whatever. Carla, love. I like that she played like a really good game, and she was funny. Like I'm gonna say like 2 instances, but like she was funny on multiple occasions. But the ones that were like the most memorable were like when Cody came over to their camp to read stuff, and she's in a confessional. She's like, she doesn't like all this Hawaii stuff. Like, bro, you're from Idaho. Actually, like, he's from Iowa. Like the way that she said it, like, bro, you're from Idaho. And then and like it's like the telenovela episode. It's like, oh, we're gonna have a telenovela tonight. She was good fun, and she played a good game. I would like to see her back, definitely. Like, and especially like, I like even before like the fallout, I liked her, but then like she's more of a sympathetic figure because of the fallout of Survivor 43, where I don't believe that she deserved that. Like she said that she was gonna like tank the jury or something against Cassidy. Well, that's part of the game. That's on Cassidy. Like she should have managed Carla better. Like should have played a better social game. I guess like maybe not. Maybe like she should have played a better game to where Carla wouldn't be bitter at her like on the way out, I would say. Like she didn't like, and like even at the final tribal council, like Cassidy was apologizing for like the way that she handled the Carla situation. So obviously like there was like, she was like, both of them could have been wrong at the same time, but it's not like Cassidy was like completely innocent. So it's like, I like the main thing that I don't like about the fallout of Survivor 43 is that like only Jesse and Carla had to answer for their votes. But I'm not saying anyone should, but like Noelle, Janine, who else voted? Like Sammy? Like no one really had to answer for like why they voted for Gabler. It's only like Jesse and Carla that got the hate. So it's like, yeah, that didn't really sit well with me. Lindsay, whatever. I think her name is like Mariah. Reason, just the fact that I said I think like obviously show's gonna be in whatever. NECA, she was part of that Jesse, Cody, and NECA 3 that was like dominating Vessi, but she just didn't bring much, I would say. It would have been nice if she made it further, I guess. Like that was a nice group, but like yeah, like Jesse and Cody said like yeah, maybe they made their bed like with the wrong person. It's like, oh, they should have like, I wish like, well, it's gonna reveal where I have Noelle, but like yeah, they should have like teamed up with Noelle if that was an option. I like Noelle a lot. Her story outside of the game was inspirational, and I've done like more research on that. So like I know her story outside of the game. And then on the game, like she was a good player, like a really competent player. Like out of these three, Cody, Jesse, and Carla, like that's the obvious like three that were gonna like win the game if they got to final tribal council. Like obviously like, if they're in a final tribal council together, like it would be like a debate. But like if like Cody's sitting next to like Gabler or Owen, Jesse sits next to Gabler or Owen, and Carla sits next to Gabler and Owen, like she's gonna win. Like they have the most win equity. But then like a step below, it's Noelle. Like she had some really impressive play. She had a really impressive like shot in the dark, steal a vote play, in front of the jury. Even though like it wasn't that many people like actually in the jury, but then like she made that play in front of like people that she's playing with, like James, Owen, Carla, and like everyone knew about it. So and then like she found a way to always get like a number one ally. Like she just never quit. And then like when she won that reward challenge, like that was the best moment of the season. It was like a comeback. I like that. So like yeah, she was definitely like 43 was a great season. And she was like a big part of that, I would say. Owen, whatever. It's not that I didn't like him, but it's just like kind of like whatever. Ryan, he and Gio were causing some good chaos, but I kind of like Gio's chaos more than Ryan's. Ryan was kind of like whatever. He's just a fisherman. That's all he was really just a fisherman. And it's like, I don't know, like I feel like I don't know if it was like an attempt to recapture like Roxroy or something, but I don't know. I kind of like compare them. But I like Roxroy more than Ryan. Like they both kind of like didn't really want to play the game like that. But I like Roxroy more. Ryan, he was just fishing. The only thing I will say is that I wish, oh my gosh, if Jesse, Cody, and Gabler decided to keep Ryan over Cassidy, then that season would have been less toxic, because like the fact that like I feel like if they would have just like cut her off there, like folks would have been mad, but like they would have gotten over it by the time of the finale. But like just the fact that she made it all the way to the finale and lost, like yeah, like oh, should have kept Ryan. even though like he was even though like I forgot the reason why they didn't like him. Like I guess he's not strategic or whatever, or like he just fishes all the time or whatever. Like yeah, even with all that, even if he might not be the most reliable number, like you can mold him into a reliable number. And like they were saying he's a challenge beast, when like that was yet to be shown, really. Like maybe in the pre-merge, but like in individual challenges, not really. And I don't know, like I felt like he could have been a nice, if he's fishing and all that, he could have been a nice goat to drag to the end. You're saying Cassidy strategic, like okay, so if she has respect, like maybe like a threat shield, if they were going for like a threat shield, maybe. But like I don't know, if like thinking about like the end game, like final tribal council, you win easily against Ryan. Probably Cody and Jesse probably would have won easily against Cassidy, but like I don't know. I at the end of the day, I just wish that Ryan was whatever, but I wish that he would have stayed. It would have like got rid of so much controversy. Sammy, I liked him. Now the reason why I liked him is kind of like, well, these rankings are personal. It's about like personality mostly, but like it's kind of like a personal thing where like we're like the same age, but like just seeing like Sammy go out there and like be able to be like so like social, that was like so inspirational, like especially at that age. And like yeah, like he brought like a lot of chaos to the show. See, so yeah, I liked him. Like might not have been a good player, might have lost a final tribal council, but he brought some good chaos. And like maybe when he's like older, less chaotic, I would say he could be better. But yeah, I like to see him. Would like to see him return. Now it's Survivor 44, one of the seasons that 41, 44, and 46 are the worst seasons of the new era. So I can't imagine that like a lot of players are going to be like ranked highly. Brandon, whatever. Carolyn, they tried to push her so much, but I just didn't care about anything that she was talking about. Like some of her confessionals were annoying, but like really just goes down as whatever. Yeah, she's a whatever character on this season. It made no sense how people thought that like she was gonna win, or like she was the front runner to win the game, because she had Franny's vote on lock, and because she had Franny's vote, that meant that Matt was gonna vote for her. Like they were not like willing to like let Matt have his own agency. Like they kind of like emasculated this guy or something. by assuming that he was gonna vote Franny's way, and like, and Franny didn't even vote for her. Like the whole story, of Survivor 44 was that Carolyn was being underestimated, and like people don't see the game that she's playing. So like, I don't. It made no sense why people thought that she was gonna win. And like when Carson and Jam Jam were getting their way at every single turn, and Carolyn wasn't, it made no sense why people thought that she was gonna win. But yeah, I didn't like her, and I'm not really gonna be convinced to like her because like I know the show was trying to force her, and it's like no, I don't really interact with like a lot of comments, like as of late, but like I remember when I was making Survivor 44 videos, I had my like rankings of who I would like to see win at the final 5, and it's like this person's like, having Carolyn at number 5 is crazy. It's like, no, it's not crazy. You just have to like consider that like I don't think the same way as you. I have different preferences for what I like in players, and like Carolyn, to just I like players that kind of like I like, sometimes I like players that represent me, that I can see myself in. I would say I can't see myself in Carolyn, and like she wasn't that entertaining, I would say. So like it is what it is. Maybe like that person like the Carolyn found something in Carolyn that was relatable, but not me. So that's why I didn't really want to see her win, because like she wasn't entertaining and she didn't really play like the best game. Like it was kind of crazy how like there was like a Reddit post or something like, or like I remember like after 43 there was like, get rid of fire making, that's why Cassidy didn't lose. And then like after 44 it was like, there needs to be a ranked choice voting system, so like you can vote for first place and second place, so you don't get Heidi winning when Carolyn was better. It's like that's so ridiculous. Like, oh my gosh. That's like, oh my gosh, it's like something new after every single season. Cassidy and Carolyn. The folks that like the fan base was rooting for so hard, and like when it didn't win, now there's a flaw in the game and you have to like change the system. Cassie didn't win, get rid of fire making. Carolyn doesn't get second place, ranked choice voting. When it's like no. Yeah, like the fan base can add to like annoyingness, but like yeah, like she's really just whatever. Carson, I wanted him to win. It was kind of like Sammy. Well, I wouldn't say kind of like Sammy, because Sammy didn't play a good game, but like just that young aspect of like going out there and like being like playing a good game. Like Carson played a good game being so young. That was inspirational, I would say. So I would say he was all right, but I didn't love him. I didn't love him. He's like an all right player. Not all right player, but like all right in terms of likability, I would say. Claire, whatever. The only notable thing about her is that like they changed the rule because of Claire. Like you can't like in the following season, like you can't sit out in back-to-back challenges. Like that's all. Danny, I would say he was a fun guy. He was a big character. I didn't like that he used his idol on Franny like for no reason. But like yeah, I would say like in a season that was kind of garbage, he brought like a little bit of entertainment. Franny, whatever. I didn't care for her and Matt's relationship. I didn't really care for it. It was getting like a decent amount of screen time. I didn't care. But yeah. The only place where I have like a little bit of sympathy is the Carolyn vote, because like she got hated on because like she didn't, because like it was nothing that she did wrong, but like she got hated on because like these folks had already mapped out how the 44 finale was going to go. They already had like Franny as a locked in vote for Carolyn, and then like when she didn't vote for Carolyn, like she's a bad person. Like how can you say that she changed her life and not vote for her? But it's like, hey, she just thought that Jam Jam played a better game because he clearly played a way better game than Carolyn. So like I don't know, that's like the one place where like I have like a little bit of sympathy for her. Like she should be able well, that's going to be like a little bit contradictory, because I'm going to get to like Maria from Survivor 46 in a second. But like I don't know, like Carolyn can change her life, and then Franny, like she cannot vote for her because Jam Jam just played this was like a clearly better game. This wasn't like a Charlie and Kenzie situation where Charlie like clearly played better than Kenzie, but like Maria probably better. Like, no, like, um, yeah. Even if Franny gave Carolyn a vote, she still would have been tied with Heidi, and they would have got like the same amount of money. So like all that really happened was that like at the end of the day, like the vote count isn't um what was it? What was it? Was there like 8 folks in the jury? 6-1-1? But like at the end of the day, like like even if Carolyn got Franny's vote, same thing happened. She lost the season very decisively. The votes don't matter. Like she lost. Uh, Heidi. I liked her. She was she said some fun she was funny sometimes, but one thing that I didn't like, also like I liked how she just like destroyed Carson and Fire Making, even though I liked Carson somewhat. I didn't want the Tikas to steamroll, and like she set a record. That was like so cool. But the one thing I didn't like was in her final tribal pitch, she brought up all of this stuff about like race. It was like, yeah, like being a woman, I guess. Like, come on, like just make your pitch about gameplay and not like outside of the game stuff, or like stuff that's like decided at birth. Like, how about everyone, like let's just let everyone be on a level playing field. That's why I don't like folks that bring that type of stuff into the game. I've already said that, but like yeah. But like I feel like that's not enough to like say dislike. I would say she was all right. I liked her like up until that. Helen, whatever. Jamie, I like Jamie. She was fun. She's kind of like a Charlie Brown style figure. Especially with that like Kane thing where like I think Kane got voted out with her quote unquote idol. It was like a fake idol from, I think it was like Matthew. Like that was funny. It's like she was getting dunked on so much, and it was so funny to see. And like, yeah, she was like really positive. Like you need positive players, or I'm not gonna say I like positive players on Survivor, and like she never got annoying, I would say. It never got annoying. I like to see her back. I don't think she's gonna get the call back. But I liked her. I just liked her positivity that she was bringing. Yeah. Josh, whatever, man. Like, yeah, like a little bit of a villain arc when he got that tribe swap, but like at the end of the day, he's just like a whatever figure on this season. Kane, whatever, man. Lauren, from what was shown, I love Lauren. But especially like when she was like eating the worms, and then like she made that reaction, and then like at her vote out when she was like Jeff, and then she's like just playing, don't have anything. Like she was funny. And I suspect that like there was more to her game that didn't get shown because of the Tika 3. So like from what was shown, I liked her. I just wish that there was more. Just like Jamie, probably not going to get called back because like that season was so like Tika centric that like I can't see like anyone really getting called back. But outside of them, but like yeah, I liked her. Maddie, whatever. I will say like she was a whatever character, but like really unfortunate that like she kind of got like a little bit screwed over with like Jamie and Matthew playing Shot in the Darks and like getting idled out by like the only vote from Brandon. Really unfortunate, but like yeah, she didn't really get the time to like really make anything happen to show that she was a good character. So whatever. Is this Matthew? I would say that he was good. I liked him. But like he just didn't get that much. He was set up to be like a really big character. But he didn't really make it to the merge. Like he had to get medevaced in. Like I don't know if he's going to get called back because like his injury, like unlike Bruce, that was like a self-inflicted type of injury. But yeah, he was I liked him. Like he seemed like he was going to be like a really big player. Like I liked his strategy, especially like the way that he used his Shot in the Dark to not like reveal his allegiance. Basically, like he had some really nice ideas, I would say. Like he made that fake idol. Like he could have been good, but he just had to jump off the rock or whatever. uh, I think this is Sarah. Whatever. Kind of like the other Sarah, like didn't really get a chance to make her mark. Jam Jam. Now I was excited for his win. Really good winner, but on the show, I didn't really care for him that much. I would say all right because he provided me with a good win to feel good about. Because I would say for most of these new era, especially like in retrospect, like I know I liked Marianne's win in the moment, but like in retrospect, I'm not really the biggest fan of these new era winning games, or like I'm not really the most satisfied. Uh, but Jam Jam, I could be satisfied with his win. Let's see. Um, and that is Survivor 44 minus Bruce, which is he's more of a Survivor 45 player. Um, Austin, he was a big player. Um, although I recognized that D played a way better game than him, I kind of like wanted him to win somewhat. And it was I would say it was kind of crazy how he even got 3 votes at that tribal council because he got dog walked by D in the end game. So, but like at the end of the day, I feel like he was just like a whatever figure on this season. All he really had was like advantages, trinkets, and then he got tricked by D at the end. So, uh, it's like yeah. He's like whatever. I feel like with Austin and Drew, they were trying to like rekindle some of that magic that they had in Survivor 43 with Jesse and Cody, but it didn't really pan out. Didn't really pan out like that. I feel like Jesse and Cody were way better. Now that I'm on Drew, I skipped over to Drew. I would say that he's like whatever. I know that there were like folks that hated him, like hated whenever he would go on like one of these lectures about I forgot what he was talking about, like some Roman stuff or something, or like hieroglyph. I don't know. I don't know what he was talking about. Like, I didn't hate him, but it's like he's just whatever. Brandon, whatever man. Brando, whatever man. Bruce, I liked him. He was a fun guy. And it's like, although it kind of got revealed to be true that he was coming off like badly, like yeah, I feel like he got like a little bit too much hate, I would say. I liked he was a rootable guy. Obviously, this picture right here is like he's just trying to have a good time out there. He was an immunity beast, I would say. Yeah. I really like that he got another shot. Really nice that his journey didn't end after 44. Yeah. Liked him. D, dominant win. I like to win most dominant win of the new era, but as a TV character, like she's kind of just like all right. Emily, couldn't stand her. And this kind of goes back into like the stuff about like race and gender type stuff, or like identity type of stuff, because there were like some moments that I just didn't like from her. Like at the final tribal council when she voted for, well, first off, she voted for D. It wasn't a thing where D clearly played a better game than Austin, but like I feel like for someone like Emily, like that fact wouldn't matter. Like it only mattered that D like was or she is what she is. When she was like casting her vote, she said like, oh, you better not spend the money, better not spend a money, better not spend a single cent on that man, or something like that. And then when it was time for her to pick rewards, she's like, let's make it a girls thing. It's like, oh my gosh, leave that stuff out of the game. Like, stop casting folks like that. Like, I don't want to see that. Like, just make bonds like based on like, don't just make bonds based on like how much you like someone, not because of gender. Like I that stuff, I just didn't like that stuff. Like, that stuff is never gonna fly with me. Never is. Like, race, gender, whatever. If you're like picking folks based on that criteria, and like aligning with folks, voting folks out based on that, like that's never gonna fly with me. So I just didn't like that. I didn't like the energy that she was bringing, when it came to that type of stuff. And I'm just never gonna like players like that. It is what it is. And then I didn't like this like underdog storyline that she was getting, because she might have been an underdog, but like that's not because of an unfortunate situation that happened. That's because she created her underdog situation. That's because on the first day, she called Bruce out and said that like he is a threat because he got a chance to play in 44 and he's like a returning player. Like, she created that. It's like if Bruce didn't want to work with her, like he has every right not to, because like she kind of like tried to tank his game at the beginning. Like that's self-inflicted. She took a match chat for herself to explain why Bruce is a threat. Then when it got to like the tribe camp, it's like she wasn't connecting with anyone. She wasn't trying to connect with anyone. It's like she was just being very pessimistic, I would say. And it's like her underdog status, that's not an unfortunate thing that happened. That's something that she created for herself. And it's like I just can't get behind that. Like how like she wasn't rootable. Like maybe if something like happened to her, unfortunate happened to her, I would root for her, maybe. But like no, like she created that by herself. That's why like I wasn't rooting for her. Like no. And it's like, oh, speaking of Emily, Hannah is gonna go in dislike because oh my gosh, if she didn't quit the game, then Emily would have been gone in episode 1 and it would have been a better season. Now, Survivor 45 is one of the better new era seasons. If I had to list my seasons off right now, it would probably be 46 at the bottom, then 44, 41, then 44. 41 and 44 are interchangeable. Then 45, then 42 and 43. So like 45 is like a solid season, but like if Emily went in the first episode, then that it would have been way better. But I don't hate Hannah because she quit necessarily. Like I know that's like why a lot of folks say that like she's bad at the game or like rank her low because like she quit. I just don't like that she quit when Emily could have went home. Like quit any other time. Just don't bail Emily out. And that's kind of like why I wouldn't rate Emily high as a player or for the game that she played on the season, because like her game was completely toast and she had to rely on someone quitting. So like everything else that happened after that is kind of like null, because like you had to rely on like a very extremely lucky circumstance to happen. So it's like, yeah, I just don't. That's the reason why I don't like Hannah. It's not because she quit. It's because she quit in a position where, like, if she just stuck it out for like one more vote, one more vote could have got rid of Emily. I had to like look. I had to like look really hard. I didn't recognize that was Jake. I guess Jake will go in all right. Fun guy. He is like he had some like nice theatrics at tribal council, but at the end of the day, it made absolutely no sense how like folks thought that he was gonna win, because like basically he was like a goat in goat's clothing. Like he's kind of like an Owen style figure where like maybe Owen wasn't entertaining, but like Jake, like yeah, maybe Jake was an entertaining guy and like he had some like good ideas, solid ideas about the game, but like at the end of the day, he probably could have been a good player, but he just got nothing to go his way, especially at the final 5 round when Katura messed up his big plan. So yeah. Speaking of that, Katura dislike. She messed up Jake's big plan. And then like although it was revealed that Bruce was coming off like he was being annoying, it's like every single one of her confessionals was about Bruce. And I just couldn't stand that. So like, yeah, add that to the fact that she messed up Jake's plan. Yeah, like that was all of her content. It's like, okay, I get it. You don't like Bruce. Like, focus on something else. Jay? I think this is Jay. Whatever. Julie? She was a good challenge piece. Her rivalry, I guess, like it wasn't a rivalry, but it was like a friendly like competition between like her and Bruce at immunity challenges. Like that was fun to watch. Yeah, really nice that. And speaking of Emily again, really nice that she stayed in the game over Emily. Like, come on, I don't even know. Like, oh, that's probably like a reason to put like Drew in like dislike, because he was the one that was trying to like start like turning on Reba when there's no reason. He turned on Reba for Emily, and it's like, I don't know, like Why are you taking her further into the game? She told you that she made the Bruce move and you still want to take her further into the game. You're not playing. Oh my gosh, you're playing for her to win. You're selling. You're oh my god. I feel like Drew, I'm not gonna put him in dislike, but like by taking Emily that far into the game with her like underdog story, you're selling. You're trying to lose the millions. It is what it is. Like you're losing your numbers. You're losing the Reba 4. You're picking each other off way too early. So it's like I didn't like that move. Caleb, he could easily go and dislike for aligning with Emily. But I'll go in good. I liked him. He had some really good strategies. He was like a competent player. I liked his basketball references. He was a fun guy. And he had a memorable moment with that shot in the dark play. First person in he wasn't the first person in the new era to like actually play it right. That was actually Jamie, the legend Jamie. But like the thing is, like when he played it, it actually mattered. Jamie wasn't getting votes. Like Caleb nullified votes. So it's kind of, he's not the first, but it's like the first time it mattered, I would say. Kelly, whatever. She had like a really big stand base while the season was going on, but I never really saw it. I never like, what is there to like about Kelly? I never really saw it. I would say Kendra. I liked Kendra. She's kind of like, I could tell she's kind of like Carolyn, but like better, less annoying, I would say. Like she is what Carolyn thought that she was. I liked Kendra. Like she was definitely a fun character. Definitely probably not the best at gameplay, but I wouldn't mind seeing her back, like just for like comedy, I would say. Like yeah. Sabaya now could easily go and dislike because her misplay is why Emily stayed around. but like when she was like making that idol, or like burning her idol at tribal council, that was fine. And it's like competent player, not a competent player, because like she was, for the first like maybe like round or so, like she was competent, but then like she started to want to target like Caleb because of the end game, when like they weren't even at the end yet. They weren't even at the merge yet. So it's like I would like to see her return, but I would say like whatever or all right. Is this Sean? Same thing with Hannah. Like it's not that I like dislike him because he quit. I don't really care that he quit. I don't care. It's just that he didn't really bring that much to the show, so whatever. Sifu, he was like propped up to be like an entertaining character, but I didn't really see it. He didn't really get much gameplay. So like whatever. And it's this, the final season, the season that made me quit watching Survivor. US Survivor, at least. Australian Survivor is good, and I believe I talked about it in that like Survivor 46 rant. Like this season was airing at the same time as Titans versus Rebels. Australian Survivor Titans versus Rebels. So it's like, it's kind of funny when I read a comment. This person was like, "Oh, how can you watch all of the chaos unfold and be this negative on the season?" Like, did you watch Titans versus Rebels? Like that had some real actual fun chaos. That was like a modern day like Survivor Gabon, and it made Survivor 46 look like a Wish version of Survivor. But yeah, I just didn't like this season, and like a lot of these players probably aren't gonna rank high, so it is what it is. Ben, whatever, he didn't play, he barely played a game, just followed along, so like whatever. Banu, didn't like him. I didn't like that they had to spend like a whole like 2 episodes on this guy like crying, like his knees touched earth, getting on his knees begging Tiff as a grown man. Like, no, you didn't have to spend 2 episodes on that nonsense. So that's why he's gonna go in dislike. Although I will say it was like a little bit of an inspirational story. I forgot the exact details. I might be like completely wrong, but I think he was like from India, like living in poverty, but then like on the first day he got US citizenship, he applied for Survivor. Like that is an inspirational story. I just didn't like the whole like gimmick of wanting to win 1,000,000 hearts. instead of $1 million. And crying all the time. Like, yeah, whatever. Charlie, no, I said this is why the list, it can't like necessarily double as like a returning player list, like a little bit, but not really, because I want to see him back. He got screwed over by the jury. Like, he deserves to have a second chance and like play a better game. But ultimately, I didn't like the Taylor Swift stuff in the beginning, and like even after that, he was whatever. He was boring. I've got to say, whatever, man. Hunter, whatever. Like, this guy was supposed to be like the new Jonathan, but like whatever. That's all I got to say. Like, I was rooting for him. I was rooting for the 6 that never really like happened, but he ended up having like a whatever run, not really that notable. And if it came down to like him and Jonathan for a spot on 50, go with Jonathan like every single time. Jelinski, I would say that he provided some good fun in the first episode. His downfall was entertaining to watch. Jim, whatever, man. Jess, wasn't for me. Dislike. I didn't like how but it was like a fan base type of thing, and like her like fanning the flames. Like, here's the thing, she played there should be no apologists, no excuses for her game. She played a bad game. She was coming off weird to folks by like eating ants. I think she was eating ants, something like that. And then like she wasn't able to like fit in. She was like, she just wasn't able to fit in. Like, it's not on the others for like not wanting to work with her. That's like on her. Then like there were like these complaints about like at that challenge where they have to like hold these blocks up, they put her in the middle as the smallest person, when no, I mean, even that was true, but then there were times when she wasn't in the middle and like she was still messing up. And there was like a time when she was like only holding like one block when everyone else was holding like 2 blocks, 2 or 3 like multiple blocks. And then like even before that, like she was just like kind of like meandering around for some of it. So like it made no sense how like everyone at that challenge. And then Banu got like hate for like yelling like, Jess, come on. Like, that's competitive spirit. That's like, you're in a game for $1 million and she's just meandering around. She's selling a challenge. Like, what are you talking about? Like, he shouldn't have yelled. Like, that whole challenge and like how it was perceived, how it's talked about, I wouldn't say it annoys me because it doesn't live rent free in my head, but like it was like a situation where like people were wrong. I would say, like, usually I like to say like people are allowed to dissect situations like how they want to, but like I would say people were wrong. Like, if you actually just look at the challenge, like it was clear that she wasn't making contributions to like winning. So like Banu had a right to be upset. So the challenge happened. Then so like everyone gets dogged out for like putting her in quote unquote like bad positions to succeed. Then Q, Kenzie, and Tiff get hate for like giving her a fake idol, when a fake idol has a 0% chance to work, when and a shot in the dark has like a 1 in 6 chance to work. So like a fake idol is the way to go. They didn't want Jess. She was a liability. They wanted to move forward with Banu. They made their decision. They wanted to make sure that Jess didn't have a way to save herself, so she wouldn't play the shot in the dark. Like, that's game. That's all game. And like players have no one has gotten this reaction, because fake idols have been given and they've been played, and no one's had this reaction like, oh, I feel so bad for this person because they embarrassed them and gave them a fake idol and all that. No one has ever had that reaction. Only when it comes to Jess, because of her condition. That's another thing. Like, if you have like a condition, I don't want to put barriers, but like if you know that like you have a condition, well, it's like, I don't know. Here's my thing. I was gonna say like, hey, if you know you have a condition, probably don't go on Survivor, but that would be too harsh. But like the thing is, like, my thing is like, still go on Survivor, but it's not everyone else's fault for not playing to her like condition. I would say like it's not. They shouldn't, like, everyone shouldn't have to like center their game around Jess's condition, I would say. So like that made no sense. So like I feel like on the show she was whatever, but then post show, like, she was just fanning the flames and like getting everyone hate. And I remember like I think like Q was voted out with I forgot the person that was voted out. Maybe it was like Tiff or Q, but like she's like, oh, that's what you get for forcing a fake idol on me. And it's like, it's gameplay. It's gameplay. If you don't want folks to play the game against you, then like don't go on the game. It's like, I didn't like her. I didn't like I didn't like all of the preloaded sympathy that was being given to her. As like that's just coming from a guy that, like I don't get the sympathy that I would. It's hard to say. I feel like I wouldn't get the sympathy that Jess has, even though like I could. I don't have her condition, but I have problems in my life that would probably like warrant sympathy, but like I would never get the sympathy that she got. And it's like I feel like that was just like very ridiculous, very like over the top. Like when Jess got voted out, like folks were saying like folks were acting like a lynching took place and like all these changes had to be made in the game or something, or not all these changes had to be made in the game, but like there was like saying like, oh, like you shouldn't people with conditions like they should be treated nicer. Like look at Asian women like getting voted out, and like someone made like a statistics chart or something. Like no, she just got voted out because she wasn't good at the game. It really just is what it is, and like it really made no sense for like all of that to happen. So yeah, Kinsey, worst winner of the new era. And like I didn't like the main thing that I didn't like about her is that like she was talking trash about Q so much, even when like, yeah, okay, Q, he tried to quit, but like he tried to make it up. He took y'all on reward, but you just kept on holding a grudge against Q. And it's like Q was one of like the more entertaining players on the season, but she just kept on holding a grudge. And like that combined with the fact that like she's the worst winner ever, it's like, yeah, I didn't like her. Liz, I did not mess with that Applebee's meltdown, because like if she won that reward, she probably wasn't even going to take Q. And it's like they kind of like I didn't mess with she got like a personal portion of rice. I didn't mess with that at all. I didn't like that at all. They treated her like a you know so yeah, I didn't like that. I will admit that she was a good player. In the player rankings, I gave her like in the player grades, I gave her like a B, something like that, because she was a good player, a very competent player. Actually, probably could have won. But like as a person, like nah, I don't need to see her again. I think this is Maria. Now she was gonna go in like all right. She was tolerable for most of her run, and like she was a beast winning those immunities, but her vote decided the worst winner ever. And it's like she saw that fire in Kinsey's eyes. Like this is the exact same thing that folks got mad at the Survivor 43 jury for using to like give Gabler the win. It's like she played a part in crowning the worst winner ever. Like her vote, it didn't even feel like Kinsey earned Maria's vote. It felt like an anti-Charlie vote, sort of. It's like just vote for Charlie. If she voted for Charlie, then Charlie wins the season, because then Ben votes for Charlie in the tie. So it's like she played a vital role in crowning the worst winner ever. So that's why I don't like her. Just play competently. Just vote for your number one ally that like you agree, like y'all played the same game. So basically by not voting for Charlie, you agreed that your game wasn't that good. So whatever, man. Mariah, whatever. They had to teach her how to jump. None of that nonsense would ever happen in Australian Survivor. Q, I would say I didn't like the quitting stuff, but outside of that, he was like entertaining with like the Q skirt. And then like there's a time when he said a plan changing at the last minute doesn't sit right with me, when he's like the catalyst for last minute plan changes. So it's like yeah. Randon, he didn't really get much, so whatever. Soda, whatever. She's kind of like whatever. But I will say that like she got like a lot of undeserved hate from the Venus fans. Oh, I'm gonna get to Venus when I get to Venus. So like, yeah. Tevin, I would say that he was a likable guy. not much to say about him, but he was likable. Tiff, dislike. I didn't like how she just completely took over the jury. Now like I remember like seeing like I think like Reddit posts or something like they said like, oh, Kinsey actually had a good strategy because she aligned with the most vocal person on the jury, but like that's not stuff that you can like actually predict. Like that's not like that's like sometimes like you're gonna get screwed over by your starting tribe. Like I don't, that's not like an intentional thing. Like that's not something where like Kinsey aligned with her because like she was like the loudest voice in the jury or something like that. Like that just kind of happened. It just happened. But like the thing that I didn't like about Tiff is that she completely took over that final tribal council and had no intentions of changing her vote. She just had Kinsey pom poms on. It's like I don't really care about the stereotype. I'll just say it like the black woman loud stereotype. I'll just say it. She was loud. She was. And it's like she was like cutting Q off when I didn't like how she was cutting Q off when he was trying to downplay Kinsey's game when that was like very valid what he was saying. Like let him get his piece in. And I didn't like that 30-second timer that she, even though that was Soda's question, I didn't like that timer that she had going, like cutting folks off. And it's like that was such a multifaceted question. Like you can't just have like 30 seconds to explain it. That was like a deep question. It's like she was cutting folks off. And it's like she was, like I said, wasn't letting folks speak. It's like she kind of felt like she was on like a huge power trip and she thought that like the final jury or like the final tribal council was like all about her. And it's like the crazy thing is like the main thing that I don't like about it is like, okay, it would have been like a little bit tolerable if she was actually listening to Charlie, because I feel like when she asked like some type of question to Charlie, like Charlie basically said like explain how like Tiff was unaware in the game and Kinsey was unaware in the game when like talking about like changing the Tiff blind side to like the Hunter blind side and like stuff like that. But like she was not even listening. She tried to have full control over the jury and was not listening to anything. She was only going to vote for Kinsey. So anything that she said, it didn't matter because she was not changing her vote. So like if you're not going to vote, if you're not going to change your mind, then like stop talking and let everyone else talk. Tim, he's going to go in dislike because I was rooting for the 6, but he was a big reason why it didn't work because he wanted to work with whatever that tribe name was, the Green Tribe. I was gonna say like Soka. No, whatever. I don't care. Yeah. But yeah, like he was a big reason why that 6 didn't work, and I was like rooting for the 6. They had some rootable figures in the 6, like Hunter and Q and Maria at the time, but like he wasn't like honest about it. So yeah. Like there's like an alternate and it's like it seems like a lot of these seasons have like these big majority alliances, but it seemed like 46 just couldn't get off the ground with that big 6 alliance because it was because of Tim. I don't even know if I called him the right name. Did I say Tim? He was kind of forgettable, but I didn't like him because he was just so loyal to his starting tribe, which it's going to annoy me if I don't actually get the starting tribe right. So I'm just going to see what it was. Siga. So yeah, that's why it's going to go in dislike. And then for Venus, dislike. It's similar to Jess, but like there's more stuff that she actively did on the show that I don't like. But like it's a similar situation where like she was like kind of like a sympathy story type of thing. Like basically from what was shown on the show, like there were moments when she was coming off abrasive and like being rude to people, and like there were like moments where like it's clear to see why no one really liked her like that and why she was like being left out of stuff. But like apparently like this stuff was shown on TV. It's like I remember like when someone like rolled over her foot, like everyone was just trying to have like a fun moment and like celebrate their win, but like she just messed up the whole moment by like complaining about that. And then there was this time where when it was like at the votes or like before tribal council, when like Hugh and Hunter were talking about the plan, and she's like, oh, you got to wrap it up, we're going to tribal council. It's like you can see moments where like she is being annoying, like she is like talking at people rather than like to them, like trying to like form like a genuine friendship. Like she sees people as like robots, I would say, kind of like Emily, like she kind of sees people like as numbers rather than trying to like form these genuine relationships with them, I would say. So like there are these clear cut moments where like, yes, you can see like she is the one that's clearly in the wrong, but no, not to the fan base, because they see all of this stuff and then somehow I'm not going to generalize. I'm not going to generalize. I'm going to be bigger. I'm going to be bigger because like I'm going to be bigger than that, because I've been generalized against like a lot, especially like as a man that like Survivor, and like there's like a lot of like I notice like in the places that I look, I notice like a lot of anti-male sentiment. And it's like I'm not gonna I'm gonna change that. Hopefully look to change that. And it's like I'm not gonna generalize. If you don't like, don't say that if you don't like men, don't say that you don't like men. Just say that you don't like, let's say Jonathan, for example. Like, don't say that you don't like men because like Jonathan's a I'm not saying that he's a misogynist, but like that's my thing. Don't generalize, because like I didn't contribute to like why you don't like men. So I mean, like maybe I contributed, but like for all I know, I never met you. You just don't like you don't like the men that are shown on the TV screen, not me. But I went on a tangent, so I'm not going to generalize and say like the fan base was being too sympathetic towards Venus, but like there was like a vocal group of people, like you would see this stuff happen, and then you would like decide they're like, oh no, it's everyone else's fault because they have preconceived like notions and biases about Venus and like they're sexist or whatever. Like no, it's shown on the show. You're just not watching with your eyes, you're watching with something else. But yeah, like she was also like one that was like fanning the flames just like Jess. And it's like, yeah, I didn't like her. But yeah, that is gonna be the tier list. Successful tier list. And yeah. So basically what I will say, I quit watching Survivor after the abomination known as Survivor 46, but I will say that I'll continue to I'll watch Survivor again. I'll give I'll watch 50 if one of these players, if at least like maybe like 1, 2, 3, if these players are on, I'll watch 50. Also, if someone from like 47, 48 is on 50, I'll actually go back and watch those seasons. So like that's what I'll say. Like that's kind of my criteria. If some of my favorites are on 50, then I'll go back and watch the other seasons to catch up. But yeah, like that's the list. These are like definite players that I want on the 50, but even if they can only get one, I would definitely like want Tori. Like if she got on 50, she would be my winner pick. Like I can see like a scenario where she would win. Like I feel like she like kind of deserves to be back, because she had to deal with like so much with that race tribal council and like the Drake. Well, she didn't like necessarily have to deal with it directly. That was like Omer, but like she was like the only one that was in Omer's like corner. Like she's so nice, and like I feel like she deserves another chance. So like she's like the main person that I'd like to see back, but I also like wouldn't mind seeing like Jesse back, like Cody, Jonathan, like, but like anyone on this list, then I'll definitely like make a return to US Survivor. But if not, then I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really know what to say. But like yeah, that is the list. I'm gonna go through it one more time. I'm probably gonna save it, post it somewhere maybe. But yeah, that is all I have for now. Remember, stay strong, stay brutal, because above all else, it's anything to win.